Instagram where the movie started, facing at a photo they've taken. Space tree flying through the skies and battles happen everywhere.
Good morning, guess where I am? I am at the BlackCat Radio studio because today is the day that I am going to be interviewed for my favorite songs by Mike Moore, one of the presenters here on BlackCat Radio. And as I'm coming up, I don't know what songs I'm going to choose today, but let's see. So I'm coming into the studio now. Oops. Oh, who did I get to see here on the gate? We've got... He's also a presenter. This is Dave. He is like a cat.
With a bobble hat on.
And then this is Mike. So this is where I'm going to do my recording of my 5 favorite songs of all time. I'll tell you more about it. But on the other side...
I've just done my 5 on my hand. I can't talk now because Ernie's on the radio.
Oh my goodness. So I've got to get inside. But just to let you know that we are going to do the recording here of 5 favorite songs of all time. So there's Mike Moore there, my mentor, and you will see the whole interview later on. Hello here, I'm in the studio 2 of BlackCat Radio with my mentor Mike Moore. He's one of the presenters here on BlackCat Radio. He's going to interview me with my 5 favorite songs and why have I chosen these 5 songs. So I don't know what's going to be the process like, but all I can do is answer him with all the questions he's going to ask me with regard to the 5 songs that I've selected for all of our audience on BlackCat Radio. And to anyone who's on Mixcloud as well, he's on Mixcloud too. I'm not on Mixcloud yet, but I'll be there very soon. And you can follow Mike. He's on his show. Could you tell them about your show, Mike, before we get to start?
My show on a Sunday is a 60s show. I play everything from 1960 through to 1969. Some that were in the charts, some that were just album tracks, but the one thing they have in common is they're all good tunes. And I've been doing that for, this year will be 3 years, so been doing it a while. But I've never actually been filmed while I've been actually in the studio. So if I'd have known Jez, I would have definitely dressed up a little bit.
You don't have to, because it's the voice that's more important when you're working on a radio. And apart from that, I did sit down about several Sundays to observe him do the proceedings and how to do it, being my mentor, and I learned from him doing all of that. So now today it's his turn to interview with my 5 songs, and let's get this rolling.
Okay, right, I'm going to press the tape, so we're now recording. So this is Mike Moore on BlackCat Radio, and I asked all the presenters here for their top 5 tunes of all time. And today I'm joined by Jez Bermudez. He's a gentleman that does 9 till midnight on a Sunday, and I asked him to come up with his top 5 tunes. And here is the first one. It's by Frank Sinatra and it's called My Way. We'll listen to it and then we'll talk to Jez. That was My Way by Frank Sinatra, and that's number 1 of your top 5 tunes of all time. Why did you choose Frank?
I think it's a very significant song in our life, especially to my family, because that was the very last song that our dad sang karaoke, and that is the very song which really reminds us of his life here with us. My mom, every time my mom hears this song, it makes her emotional, and all of us too, because every time we watch the video of him singing, that was the best moment. Our dad made us all smile, because that was a very special part of his life. And you know what? Frank Sinatra's song is actually like so anthemic in the Philippines. Everyone sings this. So when you go to karaoke bars, it's one of those songs that's always played every night. But for us, it's about the life story of our dad and how he is so important to us. That's why My Way will always be on the top list of the songs of my all-time favorites.
Excellent. Thanks very much for sharing that one. And this next one's all lovey-dovey as well. It's Whitney Houston and I Will Always Love You. Let's play it and we'll talk about it right after. That's Whitney Houston and I Will Always Love You. That's number 2 of the top 5 of Jez Bermudez, who is a presenter here at BlackCat Radio alongside the rest of us. And I asked him, as I did everybody else, to choose their top 5 tunes of all time. Jez, why did you choose that one?
Well, you know what? I'm a big Whitney Houston fan. Since I was a young boy, it's all about Whitney. I have collected records of Whitney Houston. And you know what? When this was the theme song of the film Bodyguard, I wanted to know the story, how Whitney Houston got to sing a Dolly Parton song. and made it her personal anthem. This is, I think, the song that everyone will remember of Whitney. In all of her concerts, this is the finale song where everyone just waits for her to belt out that particular moment in the song. And you know what? She made history by starting a record through an a cappella before the first instrument is played, and Whitney did it fantastically. I Will Always Love You is a great love song. It's so heartbreaking, just like the film The Bodyguard. But you know what? This song is untouchable. No one can sing it like Whitney Houston. I think it made Dolly Parton even richer.
I think you're right, yeah.
That's why, because the one who wrote it, and she got all the royalties to all the songs, and it is, I think, the most awarded single before Mariah Carey took over. It won 14 awards at the Grammy, and it stayed 14 weeks in both the UK and the US charts. That's why it's an incredible love song, and it's always my all-time favorite.
Totally agree, I love it. In fact, you got some great, when I asked you originally before we went on air what tunes you chose, I went, and when I got to this one, even more this one really, although it's called Dance With My Father, it's really about a mother.
It is.
If you listen to the words, isn't it?
It is.
It's Luther Vandross, and it's just a fabulous song. Let's hear it.
Doctor, number 3.
So this is number 3, yeah. You're listening to BlackCat Radio, it's Mike Moore, and I'm sat here with Jez Bermudez, and we're choosing his top 5 tunes of all time. Why did you choose Luther Vandross?
Well, I think when you lose a very important person in your life, you try to look for a song that will remind you of that. But this time, it's my dad's other half that's being talked about in this song. It's actually my mom. And you know what? Every time I see my mom in her saddest moments when that song is being played, she reminds me that her life will never be complete without our dad, because it's them who made us, who gave us who brought us into this world to be who we are and what we are. You know what? My parents have gone through a lot of ups and downs in their life. They've gone through poverty, into the state that we almost didn't have anything, and moving into the city when my dad lost his job. But my mom was there for my dad and for all of us. You know what? It is so amazing that we have a mother who will give up everything to give us the very best. And especially one of the things that they never really stop doing is to send us to the best schools for us to be educated. That's why we get to live our dreams. With that, I'm so thankful that this song by Luther Vandross reminds me how I am so blessed to have parents who really nurtured us and gave us that moment to live our dreams and to become who we are by supporting us in all what we do. And you know what? I would like to remind all the parents out there to support your children, because you know what? When you let them be with the things that they want to do in their life will be more amazing and meaningful. So just like this song, just like the great Luther Vandross, this song is not only emotional because of a special attachment, but it is a reminder that as a family, that as a son, or a daughter for all of the others, that we should learn to love the people who brought us up to be who we are and what we can be. That's why it is utterly, incredibly amazing and important to me.
I can tell by the way you're talking, it's important. What do they say? They say that mothers...
Mother knows best.
No.
Knows, yeah.
What I like is the saying that they say that mother is the string that holds the family together.
Definitely, and we can't live without our mothers. I think it's one of the most important persons in the world that till we die to our graves, we can never repay the good things that they have done for us.
Okay.
And I love you, Mom, if you're listening, and this is really for you.
Good for you. I hope she is listening. Now then, these next 2 tracks I've never heard of, so you're going to have to excuse me if I pronounce them incorrectly. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off and listen to Gary Valenciano and Warrior is a Child.
Yes, definitely. You got it right, Mike Moore.
Okay, so you're listening to BlackCat Radio. It's Mike Moore and Jez Bermudez, and that was Gary Valencio, which was one of his top 5 tunes. It's called Warrior is a Child. Tell us all about that one.
Well, a year ago I was going through depression, and I don't know whether I would still be here right now. I almost committed suicide, and I became suicidal, and my life was in shambles. I thought that I would never be able to pick up myself again after a case of bullying that I have gone through from my previous job. And you know what? One of the songs that really inspired me to find myself again is through this song. that we are all warriors and we will never give up with every problem that we go through in life. I think I was just so fortunate that I have the love of amazing people, my family, my friends, and everyone who supported me in those times that I almost gave up on life. And this song reminded me that there is a divine providence out there that really loves us. And this very special revival song of Gary Valenciano took me to the moment in my life to remind me that there's no reason for me to take it away, because there's only one supreme being who gave me this life that I should nurture and continue to enjoy and continue to value and continue to appreciate. That's why this song is very important, because I am here and you can hear me and you can see more of my lovely things to do, and of course so many things that I'm going through in my life. Thank you so much.
You're certainly here. We know that. Larger than life as always. Jez Bermudez, thank you for that. We have one more tune left and we're going to play it right now, and I'm going to let you tell us all about it once we've heard it. This is Mike Moore on BlackCat Radio, and we're talking to Jez Bermudez. And I asked him, as I did all the fellow presenters here at BlackCat Radio, for their top 5 songs or tunes of all time. And this is number 5. It was now you're going to have to tell me if I get this right. Raymond Lauchenko?
Lauchenko. You'll get it right, yeah.
I'm getting there. I'll be fluent by the end of this.
You will.
And it's called Farewell, which was rather appropriate because this is our last year.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Well, this is I think it's also like an anthem in the Philippines. You know, every high school graduation, this is played.
Okay.
This is the moment when you say goodbye to your high school friends, because you are all going to different journeys into your university or college life. Because some may stay in the local place, some may go to Manila, which is the big universities, or some may go abroad to study, to further their career or their education. Well, every time this song is played, you always have to get your huggies, because it's the moment when you look at the eyes of your classmates with tears falling and all that. You become so emotional, because if you look at your journey, I think high school is the most important stage of our education. That's the time when you get to really develop friendships, and in those moments you don't only develop friendships, but you make memories that will last you a lifetime. And then a few years later, when you go back to your high school reunion, you reminisce beautiful stories, and then this song is played again. My goodness. Every time a graduation happens in the Philippines, this is the song that everyone plays, because it's saying farewell to your friends, but doesn't mean it's goodbye. It's just that see you again until our next get together or catch up, so we can catch up where we left off the last time. That's why it is a very significant and an amazing song. I hope your listeners might loved it and add it in their playlist, especially if they love their friends that they have missed for quite a long time.
Well, I think you had a great playlist, and certainly no one else has come up with the playlist you have. Some great tunes there. Thank you very much, Jez. Just before you go, tell us about your show, because how long have you been doing your show now on a Sunday night?
Yes, I think I started last December of 2019, and I did my training with you a few months prior to that, which I really enjoyed. And since we started in December, I'm now into I'm getting into my 3rd month, Mike, and it's the love month as well. I have a very special show coming up very soon, so I'm so excited with it. Well, my Sunday show is all about love songs and memories, or any song that is, for that matter, where you have a certain memory to attach to it, or some stories to attach to it. And if you can request or send me a message, and I can play that song for you. And I can play songs from all generations. I cover some of Mike's 1960s, 70s shows, because some of my listeners are parents of my students back in the Philippines. So it's great that we have so many listeners across Bedford, St. Neots, and of course across the world. I can't believe that so many people downloaded that. So that's why I'm telling Mike to also go live like what I do, because you can generate more listeners and audience.
But if I did that, Jez, I'd have to wear a tie and a collar, you know. I mean, I couldn't come in dressed like this, could I? I mean, it really wouldn't go.
Oh, you look amazing. You don't have to worry with that. I'm so excited with this particular kind of interview. And thank you so much for giving me the chance to share with your audience and your listeners my 5 top songs that's very important in my life.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much for coming in. Take care now.
All the best. See you, Mike.
This is Jez Bermudez's Sunday Memories, only on BlackCat Radio.